Today on Columbus Day, we're going to talk about the economics of Christopher Columbus and how it affected you today. Stay tuned.
From Philadelphia, the home of the Liberty Bell, Financial Freedom Radio starts now. Here's your host, Raymond Jewell.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to financialfreedomradio.com. I want to thank you all for coming and downloading and sharing, liking, and subscribing to our show. We'd like to have you subscribe to the YouTube channel, financialfreedomradio.com. I'm sorry, youtube.com/financialfreedomradio. Get too many .coms and URLs in my head.
Both of them will get them there, Ray.
Yeah, okay. And we'd like to have you share with your friends. We build our show on referrals, and we just are blessed that you send your friends to us. Good morning, Steve, and happy Columbus Day.
Thank you, sir. Same to you. Yeah, they'll get there either way. If they go to youtube.com/Financial Freedom Radio, financialfreedomradio.com, it doesn't matter. All roads lead to your brilliance.
Whoa. What do we do? Start digging?
Thought I'd stroke that ego just a little bit.
Yeah, because this is a difficult topic, and we're going to touch on this.
Yeah,
Columbus.
It sounds like it's going to be a snooze fest, but I'm going to trust you because you've never let me down before.
Well, you know what? I may put you to sleep, and it's a holiday, so why not?
That's okay. I'm sure our viewers love to hear that. Oh, this is going to be so exciting. He's going to put me to
sleep. It's an exciting time. And I've got your favorite phrase. The mind that opens to a new idea never goes back to its original size. And who said it?
We don't know who said it, but Albert Einstein is quoted as saying it.
You would get technical on me. Dadgummit. You know,
it makes the show more entertaining, Uncle Ray.
Are we entertaining?
I'd like to think we're entertaining.
Oh, okay.
I haven't brought out the dancing squirrels yet.
Well, let's talk about Christopher Columbus and how he changed the world. Christopher Columbus, we all know, sailed from Spain to the New World and landed in the Bahamas in 1492. We all know that. With the Nina, the Pinta, and I believe the Santa Maria. Is that right, Steve?
Right.
And but the world has been transformed out of all recognition in the half a millennium since the death of Christopher Columbus. He died in 1506. Much of the transformation has been due to the integration of the Americas. North America, Central America, and South America, with the world economy, a process which followed his famous voyage. When the explorers' Spanish-funded fleet crossed the Atlantic in 1492, he came to the Bahamas. The Western Hemisphere was a place apart. Nobody ever realized that was, the New World was there. Although many people have been to the New World before him, but he discovered the major part of it and what follows after that. It never was discovered in this sense before, even though people have been noted for showing up on the shores of North America and Central America, South America. But today, the United States is the center of the world economy that he hit on. And many of the symbols of the 21st century globalization stem from Columbus's work. He changed our lives. The nature of the Americas' interaction with and influence on the rest of the world has depended critically on transport technologies. Think about it. They set up trade routes to and from Spain and the New World. The first time, it took him a long time and over 1 million, whatever they had back then, to get there. It was a lot of money. a huge amount of money. And then he got it in his fourth voyage, he got it down to 4 weeks or 3 weeks. Now we can cross the Atlantic to each one of the continents in less than 24 hours. But so what he did was he hit on something that created exponentially a boom that 500 years later we now enjoy. We are the beneficiaries of it. And people argue that they say, well, if he didn't do it, somebody else would have. No. And I totally denounce that thesis because he got turned down many times. And we've talked on this show about staying focused and having a vision. He had a vision. He got turned down over and over and over again, but he kept focused on his vision. And finally, he wore them down, and they ended up giving him money because he told them that whatever he found, he would send back. And you have to understand that back then, the old world was caught up in lots of poverty, except for the aristocratic people. I mean, people didn't have good diets. They didn't have lots of the things that he managed to bring back. But and also think about it today. We are able to collaborate with people all over the world through technology and put together articles and put together books and share ideas where that never happened. And he kickstarted that. So let's talk about the high transport costs that he had to endure. When he first started, they had very high transport costs because what they went over, they came over to the New World. They had to bring back only what they had in the ships. They had no shipping channels or anything like that. So they had to put together their own shipping system. And so they had to have a very high value to weight ratio items that they could bring back. And it wasn't just gold and silver like we think today. It was corn, it was wheat, it was stuff they wouldn't get there. Sweet potatoes, they were all finding that from the Indians. And so a lot of the items that they found in the New World, they shipped back, and it had incredible value that they were able to bring back and share with the population in the Old World. So the New World started funneling goods and services, just goods at first, to the Old World, where the people were able to benefit from it immensely. And we have to fully understand that he came over to the New World thinking he was going to Asia to get spices, and they had huge value back then because before Marco Polo was going back and forth, and I think one of the some big invader blocked the passage, so they couldn't do it. So they had to find a way through. I think it was Hannibal or something like that. I could have that all wrong, but they blocked it, and so they decided to find it by sailing across the ocean. But they were looking for spices and other value items. They did find lots of silver and lots of maize, which was corn, and other things that they could bring back. There wasn't a lot of talk about gold back then. It was silver. Silver was a very valuable commodity back then, and people are buying it now. Not lots have changed in the world, but some things are very basic. Silver does have value, not as much as gold these days, but it does have value, and it is one of the wealth creators that we've talked about that allows you to get use and growth simultaneously on your wealth. You get to use it, and it'll go up in value at the same time. And we've talked about that on our shows before. So initially, the most significant transoceanic shipments consisted of genetic information, with the America exporting spices such as maize, potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, and importing, among other things, horses, cattle, sugar, coffee, wheat, and of course, smallpox. We brought over diseases too. And it's been said that there weren't a lot of diseases before we got there, but we did manage to export that. And so uh, the result was sharply contrasting demographic experience in the old world and the new world, and catastrophic population declines in the Native American Indian population during the 16th century. So we're bringing over diseases and we're wiping out part of the Indian population, and it just keeps going on back and forth. China is now getting into it because they're now able to get a hold of the items that they're looking at, like wheat and things that they didn't have, tomatoes and corn. But all in all, we have to understand that the economy of the world was changed with Columbus. And I've noticed in the media, people are tearing down statues, and I'm not so sure they fully understand that Columbus actually gave them the life they have today because of his persistence and focus on sailing to the New World. Now, a lot of people are also saying that he introduced slavery, and I take issue with that. Even though we all know slavery is bad, and it's just not a good thing. It's a topic people don't like to address, but that was going on within the Indian tribes before he got here. They would capture tribes, other tribes, and they would introduce them to their way of life and use them as slaves. And also, slaves were being sold in Africa by Africans to other Africans. So he just managed to expand that, and it was all about money. It was the economics of it, and the economics contributed to the Civil War that we know today. But getting back to how he changed the world economically for you and I, had he not done this, I submit to you that we would not have the lifestyles we have today. I would not be talking to you through this webcast, and we would not have the enjoyable lifestyles that we have today. We do complain we don't have enough, and that's always going to be the issue. But economically, you're where you are now because he did this. And we need to understand the value of history as far as going forward and understanding our future. If somebody managed to discover the new world later on in life, would we have moved as fast as we have? There were a lot of people not wanting to cross this huge body of water. They feared that the world was flat and they were going to fall off the world. And they had lots of fears. But he persisted and had the guts to do it. And we've talked about imaging and visualization and how powerful it is in the world. And he managed to pull that off and make sure that he crossed. And then once he did it once, he was able to do it 2, 3, and 4 times. And then he died. And there's a lot of speculation about where he's buried and that kind of thing. But the main focus today was I wanted to share with you this and just give you some food for thought that we ended up bringing people over. We ended up developing the Americas on the backs of Europe because of these trade routes that were established and because Columbus managed to do it. And again, I'm not so sure that it would have been done had he not done it. So sharing that with you economically, when we talk about what we're doing with our lives now and the wealth that we have and all of that, just remember its roots. its roots goes back to the days of Columbus. We've got historic roots that we are working on. And when you panic over lifestyle, if you panic over elections, if you panic over anything else, we have gone on for many, many years. And chances are we will continue to go on. We just need to make sure we do it to the best of our ability and protect ourselves, because I'm not so sure that the financial institutions are going to do it. And we need to be able to understand the inefficiencies and the efficiencies in our financial world in building our future, our wealth future. The efficiencies were started back in the Columbus days. They managed to figure out how efficiently they could move product and goods and services, and we continue to do this today. So there's a lot of similarities between what went on in 1492 and what's going on today. So I want to thank you all for coming and listening and downloading, and hope to see you back here next week at financialfreedomradio.com. Take care. Have a great holiday and a great week, and may God bless you.
Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast. If you want to learn how to create real sustainable wealth like the extremely rich people do, or maybe you just want to sustain the wealth you already have, you need to check out Dr. Ray's new book, Why the Rich Are Rich. Ray's been coaching clients for 35 years and has completely unlocked the secret strategies that rich people use day in and day out to grow and sustain their wealth, regardless of what's going on in the economy. His book is completely free, and you can get it by going to whythericharerich.com and entering your email address. Again, that's whythericharerich.com. Head over there now.